So I'll just introduce the topic and the relationship between Ananda Yoga and Ayurveda. Sometimes people say that yoga is a different branch because yoga is the science of self-realization and Ayurveda is a medical branch which is about self-healing of body, mind and spirit. So how they're combined with each other. So it's very interesting to see that Ayurveda and with yoga both are given by saints. And I will start with the uh, definition of health because when you're talking about Ayurveda, we're talking about health. And Paramahansa Yogananda, who is, the one, the saint of New Age, you can say, and we all follow him, we are the fellow disciples there. So from this book, how to have, how to achieve glowing health and vitality, I'm reading the definition of true health. He says true health is not mere existence or being away from the hospital. He says true health is able to resist disease, to bear strain, to stimulate mental vitality, and to feel the body as a luxury, as a bird feels when it shoots high in the air, or as a child always does, is health. So he's giving us such a freeing definition where mind and body both are soaring high in spirit, right? So when Paramahansa Yogananda went to West in 1920s, his main aim was to spread the teachings of self-realization. And self-realization, of course, is the basis of the whole human evolution. We look forward when we practice yoga for that is our ultimate aim. But how can we be there? So he laid a lots of emphasis on raising consciousness. He gave various yogic techniques to do that. And when he observed people, he found there's a need to work on their lifestyles also. So he gave them wonderful suggestions how to make lifestyle better and how can we have a lifestyle in sync with the biological clock of our body, right? So he had come from India and in India we practice Ayurveda intensely. But Ayurveda also depends on Desh and Kal. So it changes when you change the place. So suppose you are in a very cold country and you are designing a breakfast menu for a person who is staying in US and you're designing a menu for a person who is staying in India. So because a person is staying in US has a very, very, you can say cold climate. So the pitta will be high for that person. So it will be altogether a different menu. Whereas a person who is staying in India will need a menu which will reduce the kapha, right? So he very intelligently devised the dietary habits and he guided people of how to follow the diets and have a good health even if you have any kind of dosha. So if there's any imbalance in the doshas which you will now listen to further, I will not go into detail. So how to have the diet which will balance all doshas. So as Ayurveda has three pillars, the three pillars are sleep, diet, and self-discipline. Paramahansa Yogananda spoke about all three of them intensively. So when I start with the diet, he spoke about not only physical impact of diet, but also the psychological impact of diet. He was the first one in the West to talk about the psychological impact of food. And he said, not one, but all food have some impact on mind. Mind it, all food have some impact on mind. So I'll request Amrita to please share a PPT where I'll tell you about the psychological qualities of food. So he says it is desirable to know not only the physical, but also the spiritual and psychological effects of food. They are sattvic, rasic, and tamasic. The sattvic food includes fruits, fresh vegetables, whole grains, legumes, honey, fresh dairy products, coconut milk, peanut and almond paste, nuts, and these foods produce calmness and nobility. So you can see the impact of the food on the mind. Then comes the next category of rasic food, which are those foods which produce active and worldly and emotional qualities of the mind. These foods include onion, garlic, eggs, potato, pickles, pumpkin, fish, lamb, etc. The next one he said is a tamasic one, which has the impact on our body that the energy is moving downwards. So it has a darkening, destructive qualities, you can say. The foods are which are stale and have bad odor and deprived of their natural qualities are tamasic. For example, he has said the cold storage food, liquor, beef, pork. So how to select? He was a saint, and he was very interested in the consciousness of the food and the, you know, even the diet foods. So he gone into the consciousness of the foods, and he has talked very beautifully about many fruits like peaches. He says peaches promotes selflessness, grapes promotes spiritual love, banana promotes humility, strawberry promotes dignity. So it's such a beautiful thing. He has done so much intuitive research on cereals, vegetables, fruits, and nuts. And you can go into detail. And when the link is there in the chat box, Amrita has put there. When you see this book, you can read this book. It is wonderful, detailed description of food and their qualities and how to have them with which attitude, and which are patte and apatte ahar, which are dietary combination that should be taken, which are good for our body, which are not good for our body, what time, and which even direction, right? So it was a kind of refined knowledge of Ayurveda, you can say, that he shared with the people there. Then the second pillar of Ayurveda is sleep. And you must have seen a wonderful documentary by Paramhans Yogananda on how to sleep correctly on BBC documentary slides. And he has not only told about how to sleep correctly, the posture, he has also defined the state of mind that should be when we go to sleep. How to have good sleep, how to have good dreams when you're sleeping. So he has gone into that detail. The third parameter, or you can say the pillar of Ayurveda, is self-discipline. And yoga is all about self-discipline. So when we, study the basic level 1, level 2, Raj Yoga, it's all about yam, niyam, how to practice self-discipline, how to practice calmness. So Paramhans Yogananda was very dynamic in his teachings. He, adapted the teachings, he presented them in a very new and practical manner. So when we talk about yoga and Ayurveda, are they related to each other? Yes, of course. I would like to share a small video clip of David Frawley, who's an authority on Ayurveda and a renowned writer and scholar.
Is restoring that yoga-ayur connection. And in this regard, we must remember the two are complementary. Yoga teaches us that to enter into deep meditation, we need a sattvic body and a sattvic mind. We need to have that inner purity, clarity, and awareness. Ayurveda also teaches us what are the necessary foods, practices, herbs to instill sattva guna within us. And Ayurveda, at a physical level, we look at disease according to the doshas of Vata, Pitta, Kapha, the elemental forces. But at the level of psychological disease, we regard the rajas and tamas, the aggression and inertia in the mind, as the disease-causing factors, and sattva guna as the factor of healing for the mind, which means that the Ayurvedic psychology and the yoga psychology are the same, and they cross over in many ways. And today, more than anything, we need psychological healing. And for that purpose, not just asanas and pranayama, but deeper meditation and mantra is very important. But even from the Ayurvedic standpoint, right diet, right behavior, and certain special herbs like medhya, rasayanas for improving the mind, increasing the awareness, and balancing the doshas within us. So this psychological model of yoga and Ayurveda is also of extreme importance.
So you can see there's a correlation between yogic and Ayurvedic science, and we can definitely benefit when we follow the Vat Pitta Kapha, when we understand the Vat Pitta personality, types, and we follow the instructions of Ayurveda, how to have balance in all three doshas. So it will be a wonderful idea to go into details of Vat Pitta and Kapha, but because they have their basis in Ayurveda, and Ayurveda is an ancient science. And in this half an hour, we can't cover everything. So we are just sharing a 1-minute video on the basis of these, doshas, which are the elements which impact them. And then we'll start with Vapitta Kapha.
All Ayurvedic literature is based on the philosophy called Sankhya, meaning to know the truth. The Rishi Kapila discovered 24 principles or elements of the universe. Prakriti, the female energy, creates all forms in the universe, while Purusha, the male energy, is witness to this creation. Purusha, the male energy, represents the dormant consciousness. Prakriti is the female creative energy. In the transcendental state, they are in harmony with each other. Prakriti takes the primary role to manifest as the tanmatras of 5 senses, the essence of life. The Panchatattvas, the 5 manifest elements such as ether, air, fire, water and earth, and the Pancha Mahabhutas, the 5 subtle elements inherent in the 5 manifest elements. When creation takes place, the first evolute to manifest is Mahad, the great mind.
So I'll start my presentation. First of all, I would like to let you know that what is Ayurveda. Ayurveda is a knowledge of Ayu plus Ved, which tells us about the knowledge of, in which we can, by reading Ayurveda, we can enhance our age and we can even make ourselves healthy. I always believe that it's like a universe manual given by Lord Brahma, and from there sages have given to us. If like any gadget, if you buy from the market and if we don't know its functioning, we go through that and accordingly will use that gadget. Accordingly, the God has given this Ayurveda as a universe manual. If we diligently read it and follow it, I believe we all be very healthy and happy in life. Now I start my presentation. First of all, pranam to Lord Dhanvantri and all gurus. As you all know, Ayurveda is the art of living in harmony with the science of life, and it's not merely confined to diseases and treatment, which is all believe that this is not only the treatment part. And as Shyamaji also said, if they both are sister sciences, they are complementing each other. So if we want to get deep into the meditation, we need to have a sattvic body and sattvic mind. And Ayurveda teaches how to improve that sattva through diet and lifestyle. Ayurveda is a yogic system of medicine. Yoga teaches, as I said, these both are complementing each other. They are sister sciences. So they have one thing in common, that is the Agni factor. Yoga teaches to awaken the yogic Agni, which is the prana. And Ayurveda teaches to awaken the Jatragni, which is the digestive fire, which is very important for the healthy being. Here, friends, I would like you to know the definition of health, not according to what WHO says, but according to Ayurveda, which is very important for all of you to know. We say that some dosha, some agnisha, some dhatu mal kriya, prasan atmendriya mana, swast ityavidhiyate. When all the doshas, all agnis, all dhatus, and all the mal, even the excretions, they are in balance, they are in proportion in the body. Then our man, atma, and indriya, they all are prasan, they are in bliss. We are happy, we are in bliss. That is a state of health, actually. When we talk about doshas, as Shyamaji already said, there are 3 types of doshas. Vat, Pitta, and Kapha. Sorry, because of throat, I tried to be more focused on PPT so that I'll be able to make justice to the presentation. So when we talk about doshas, there are 3 bioenergies in our body. So friends, here I would like you to know that we are the part of this macrocosm. We are the micro part of that macrocosm, this universe. Like here, Pinde Tat Brahmande, as 3 factors are governing in the universe, sun, moon, and Vayu, Vat. The same 3 factors are governing in our body. So when we talk about 3 doshas, they are Vat, Pitta, and Kapha. They are the main components whose imbalance is responsible for the illness and health of a being. They are very important. When I say imbalance, they is of two types. They may aggravate or they may decrease in proportion. So that kind of imbalance leads to the diseased condition. When we talk about Vata, how do we come to know about these bioenergies, how they are working in our body? So that can be only understood like Vata and it cannot be seen. And the functioning of Kapha and Pitta and Vata, that can only we feel, and through that we come to know that they are present in our body and they are in balance. So Vata is basically, we can say it's a nervous system. All the sensory or motor or any sympathetic or parasympathetic, any kind of movement, nervous system that is happening because of Vata in our body. Even when we eat something, we are having food and it is moving down, it is passing to the stomach, and thereafter that movement is also taking because of Vata. The blood is also flowing because of Vata. Each and every, the breath, respiration, even the elimination, these all functions are taking because of Vata. And how can we know about the psychological actions in our body? When a person is having balanced Vata, he'll be more creative, energetic, and his movements will be very particular and very correct. And when you come to Pitta, we can say it's like more like a digestive fire. In science, we can correlate this with hormones and enzymes which are secreted in the body. So they are actually Pitta. This aids in digestion, thirst, vision, hunger, metabolism. Everything is happening because of Pitta in our body. And when we have this in balance, we are more desirous, joyful, our memory is good. So all these psychological characters are accordingly happening in our body. When we come to Kapha, Kapha is meant for stability, durability, growth, lubrication, endurance, strength. This is all happening in our body because of Kapha. And psychologically, what effect it has? When a person is having balance with Kapha, he is more at peace. He is more friendly, more generous, more tolerance. So these all factors we can see in a balanced Kapha person. And we in our system, in our body, the synovial fluid, which is present in our bones, everywhere, the lubrication between our bones, that is all because of Kapha. Today, we are basically focusing more on to know the prakriti of a person. So our main focus is on Tridosh, Vata, Pitta, Kapha. So this is Vata. The basic functions of Vata I have discussed with you. You can go through this presentation, these PPTs, and after going from here, you can very well correlate the balancing Vata and imbalancing Vata factors to know your Prakriti. So friends, here I would like you to know the qualities of Vata. Basically, Vata has a movement quality. It is light and this is cool in nature. It has roughness and it leads to odor. It is very minute, very subtle. So those people, now they can correlate themselves with these things, feeling of coldness, dry and rough skin, such kind of factors they can correlate with the imbalance of Vata. And when the Vata is in balance, we have mental alertness, our immunity is strong, we get very sound sleep, and everything, all the movements of our body, all the activities of the body, they are taking place in a well-formed way. And if it is an imbalance, we have all these problems: insomnia, underweight, anxiety, worry, tension, rough skin. And here I would also like you to know that because of Vata, there are 80 kinds of diseases which are mentioned in Charak Samhita. We get 80 kinds of diseases in our body. So that is because of imbalance of Vata. Now we come to Pitta. The basic functions, as I already discussed, you can go through that. The feeling of heat and metabolism and everything. Growth. Growth means like you can say from anything from ripe to raw is happening because of Pitta. So during adolescence, during youth, the person is more Pitta predominant because that time the person needs vigor and strength to work. During childhood, we are more Kapha predominant because we need growth. Growth is happening because of Kapha. And during later age, during when old age, the person is having Vat predominance in the body. This is a general functioning, general phenomena of every person, everybody in the universe, that during old age, Vat automatically predominates. So here we are talking about the balance qualities of Pitta. It is hot, sharp, it is acidic in nature, oily, light. So, and because of balanced Pitta, our digestive system, digestive fire is very good, and that our Jatragni only determines our health. Because our Sanskriti, our Sanatana Sanskriti, I believe, starts from Agni, from when we are born till we die. So Agni is very important. And through that whole time period, this is our main, that should be our main criteria, mandatory responsibility to maintain that Agni in our life. And when this is in balance, we have good digestion, good intellect, wisdom, good skin, contentment. These all are the faculties we enjoy in balanced Pitta. When it is in imbalance, we get various kinds of skin diseases, acidity, inflammations, premature graying and baldness is a clear-cut indication you can see. Those people get this, they can come to know that their Pitta is getting very predominant. And they have vision problems and excessive sweating, thirst, body heat. Such kind of problems are very common with the Pitta predominant people. And when we come to Kapha, as I said, this is responsible for growth and building block. This is slow and steady. The people who are having imbalance of Kapha, they'll be very lethargic. They'll be sleeping every time, lack of activity is there. And they'll have obesity, and they'll have more of the Kapha related diseases. And as I said, because of Vata, there are 80 kinds of diseases. Because of Pitta, we get 40 types of diseases. And because of Kapha, we get 20 types of diseases. The balancing of Kapha, it gives great immunity, strength, vitality, and stability of mind. You can go through this. I'll move further. So friends, as Ayurveda always recommends for a healthy being, for the healthy living, Dincharya and Ritucharya, that we should know how to follow the daily regime as well as seasonal regime. So these Vat, Pitta, Kapha, they play a major role throughout our lifespan, during the day also, and in seasons also, and during the whole lifespan. As I said, childhood Kapha, young, when we are youth, then Pitta, then when we are old, that is Vata. So as I've mentioned over here, during the whole day, the cycle goes like this only. So accordingly, we can plan our activities, our food, and our lifestyle according to this circadian. As I think I will not go into the detail of timing and all, you can go through the PPT. And this is happening during the daytime also and during the night also. But the difference is this: during daytime, we have sun, and during night, we have moon. So if the activities of Pitta are happening from 10 to 2 p.m. during the day and during night, it doesn't mean that the same kind of meal you can enjoy during the night, because that moon factor is there. That is a time to sleep. So no food intake during that time period. That is very important to know. And same thing is happening according to the seasons. We have 6 seasons. We are very lucky to have 6 seasons in India. So like right now we are in Grishma Ritu. And here I would like to know we have 2 Kal, Adan Kal and Visar Kal. Three Ritus in each Kal. So this is Adan Kal going on. So this is Grishma Ritu. So in Grishma Ritu, we have the accumulation of Vata is taking place in our body. So such kind of vegetables and foodstuffs are available in the market. If you diligently, if you wisely watch such kind of fruits which are Vata pacifying, like mango and all, they are coming during this time period. In the latest slide, in the upcoming slide, I'll tell you why I'm saying that they are Vata pacifying and what are the qualities of Vata pacifying foodstuffs. So here basically, this is the season when the Vata is getting accumulated, and in the coming season, which is Varsha Ritu, there will have the Prakop of Vata, that is aggravation time period. And after that, when we'll have the aggravation of Vata, that time Pitta will start accumulating. So accordingly, this cycle goes for all these 6 seasons in our life. So you can go through this, and if you have some questions, we can discuss about it. So I'll move further. So as already we had in the previous, as previous speaker said, Shyamaji, Yat Pinde Tat Brahmande, the concept of Panch Mahabhut. So I'm coming to that, why that is important. Here, this is very important to know. We always advocate that our food should always have Shadras. It should always contain all the 6 tastes, rasas. We don't go much on to carbohydrate, protein, and fats, and etc. We rather go on the 6 kinds of rasas we should have in our daily routine, and that proportion varies according to the season. So friends, here when I talk about the present Ritu, which is the summer season, Grishma Ritu, just a minute. So when we talk about the summer season, and see the arrows which I have shown in this slide, they are telling you the arrows which are moving up, they are always aggravating the dosha, and with the arrows which are going down, they are pacifying the dosha. So during this time period, all the things which are aggravating Vata, they are pungent, astringent, and bitter in taste. So during this time period, we have the Vata accumulation in our body. And in the coming season, which is Varsha Ritu, that time we'll have Prakop of Vata. Vata Prakop means Vata is the most important dosha in our body, most important. Even though other 2 are also very important, but Vata is very important because that makes others move. Others cannot move on their own. Pangu, Pit, Pangu, Pangu, Mal, Dhatva. So this Vata is the only one which is the moving factor for all others. So we always should try to practice and make such activities which can pacify or which can balance the Vata. So in the coming season, which is the Varsha Ritu, there will have the Prakop of Vata, and Vata is always responsible for all kinds of aches in our body, every kind of pains, joint pains and all. You must have also noticed in the society that during this time periods, all the previous pains arises in persons. So you can go through this. And as I mentioned about the Panch Mahabhut, this is accordingly we can plan that which Mahabhut we need to increase and which Mahabhut should be decreased in our system. So accordingly we can plan our diet and lifestyle. And lifestyle also, because lifestyle also aggravates the doshas and pacify them. For example, if we don't sleep on time, if we are waking late at night after 11, 12, so that leads to Vat Prakop. So our lifestyle is also very important. So here, this is very important. As Bhagavad Gita says, Yukta har vyarasya yukt chestasya karm tu yukt sapna bodhasya yogo bhakti dukha. The person who is doing yukt ahar means theek se ahar, vihar means everything, anything you are doing for enjoyment. Enjoyment in the sense ki food makes us happy, but that should be in balance. Yukt ahar, yukt vihar, yukt chestasya karmsu. Any karm, any prayas, any efforts we are doing to, we are making to do any karm, any work, that should be also in balance. That should be that should be also correct and balanced. Yukt karma, yukt swapna bodhasya, like that our sleep should be in balance. So this kind of balance leads to dukhar. Such kind of yoga is dukhar. This is only the definition of yoga. योग की यही परिभाषा है. एवरीथिंग एंड युक्त एंड योग से कर्म कौशलम. जो भी कुछ हम करें, कुछ भी whatever we do, that should be in perfect proper कौशल के साथ, with proper समता के साथ, balance के साथ we should be doing. So thank you, friend. This is all from my side. I don't know how much time I have taken, and I am ready to answer your questions if any queries are there.
So first question is mine only, Dr. Sudha. At what time we should have lunch and breakfast? Because I was watching at the cycle that you have shown, it says Pitta is from 10 to 2. So what time we should take breakfast and what time we should take lunch?
Here, very important thing I would like all of you to know, that Ayurveda says Purusham Purusham Vikshayam. Like every person is, as every individual is different. No two persons are same, right? Whatever is good for me may not be good for you. Fine, that is our individual prakriti. Even though the biological circadian says that from 6 to 10, that is a kapha time period, and according to age also, everything also that is there, we have to decide according to our prakriti. Fine. The 6 to 10 is the time period of kapha, so we should have very light meal, light breakfast. Breakfast is recommended because we had a long fasting time period after dinner. So that breakfast should be that should be easy to digest and not kapha provoking. It should not lead to kapha provoking in our body. That should be easily digestible, and light breakfast we should recommend. And after 10 to 12 is a peak time for Pitta. And Pitta is responsible for digestion. So the most heavy meal of the day is recommended should be taken during that time period only. And as I said, many people mistake 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. and they correlate this with the night cycle. Okay, that was written that 10 a.m. So 10 p.m. also we have the highest peak of Pitta, but no, moon is there. So that is a time of kapha. Kapha, we need to aggravate kapha that time, to sleep, to have a sound sleep. We should not get into other activities of working or digestion. That is a time that we should focus more on kapha increasing. Anything else?
We have two more questions. So the first question I'm seeing is from Shyamaji only. I'm having generally high vata, but lots of hair fall too. What is to be done?
Okay. See, vat means patjhad. Okay. I said that vata is predominant in a person in the later age, in old age. Okay. You must have noticed that if for example, you take a stick and you'll be able to break it very easily. And if you apply oil to that regularly, that becomes more endurable, like it becomes more strength. Same is the condition of our body. Vata is very chanchal. very naughty. It aggravates with the very little activities of ours. May it be food habit, may it be activities. So that need to be pacified on time. And for pacifying vata, tail like oil is the best medium. For pacifying pitta, ghee is the best medium. And for pacifying kapha, honey is the best medium. As you asked, now coming to your question, hair fall and vata. Hair fall is happening because it happens because of two factors. Because it happens because of pitta also and vata also. Vata leads to early aging, early signs of aging. And pitta, as I said, this is the journey of from ripe to raw. Fine. And pitta has the quality of, it is acidic, sharpness. And it is very, you can say, very, it has a peculiar kind of quality that we can say that like if a pitta aggravates in our body, we get acidity. If pitta aggravates in our body, it leads to burning of everything. So if it is more, it will lead to graying of hair and falling of hair. And internally, it will hamper the tissue system in our body. As I said, some dosha, some agni, some dhatu malkriya. So this is because of pitta and vata. So you should practice pacifying pitta and vata both. For vata, oil application. For pitta, consumption of ghrita. And one more very good practice for vata pacifying in a panchkarma, that is vasti chikitsa. That is herbal enema. That is the best treatment for vata pacification. And rest you should consult, because your body nature is need to be known. Anything
Thank
else?
you, Sudhaji. I think we have time for one more question. And okay, there is one from Ratna. And she says, as I have lots of air after eating, how to manage, please?
Okay. See, such kind of factor is happening because of there is a role of liver, fine, digestive system. There are two kinds of things. Some people say that I get very good hunger and I eat a lot, but I cannot digest it. Fine. Pitta plays a role in getting hunger and digestion both. So here, the pitta which is making person hungry is good, but the pitta which is responsible for digestion, that is disturbed. Okay, so gaseous formation is happening because of that. So she should plan her meal accordingly. Ayurveda says, eat according to the, eat and drink. जब आपको भूख लगे तब खाओ, जब आपको प्यास लगे तब पियो. No timing, don't go on time. Even though circadian is written, I have shared it with you. But if your digestive fire is not ready, you should not consume that. And one more thing I say, always use your kitchen as your pharmacy. If you get such kind of problems of bloating and gas formation, always carom seeds are there. You have black salts. And again, I say that I don't know your prakriti. You may be pitta prakriti. Then that time I need to be, and you may not be consuming sufficient ghrita in your diet. Nowadays, that is also a very big problem. Youngsters don't consume grit. They think it will make them fat or obese. But ghrita is a very essential part of the our diet. So you should include that.